You guys didn't think I was gonna let these seats get away, did you? Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today. As you can see, it's actually a really nice day. Today's February 2nd, 2020, and it's actually Super Bowl Sunday, but I don't watch football. So, we're going to swap out the Aztek seats today. Let me tell you exactly why and how I ended up getting a full set of the rare, hard to find, factory upholstered leather seats for a Pontiac Aztek. So it was, I think, last weekend or the weekend before, I can't remember now, but I had to find another 6-disc CD changer for my beautiful Aztek here. And upon trying to search for a vehicle with the GM 6-disc CD changer from that time period, I came across a yellow 2001 Pontiac Aztek. It was a base model, but it looks like, you know, whoever had it last was actually trying to add some more character to it. So it had, stuff on it that a GT would probably have, including these decently shaped leather seats. Now, I usually wouldn't consider buying a seat out of a junkyard carcass, only because the car is usually picked over pretty good, and windows are out, doors are open. But when I came across this Aztek, for one, it really looked like it may not have been there that long. The dash was torn apart a little bit, but there wasn't a whole lot taken from it. So it was actually closed up when I found it. The windows weren't down, all the doors were closed, and even the inside, when I was looking through it and taking it out, I didn't see a whole lot of trash. I didn't see any food or anything. So for the most part, the car was, for what it was actually fairly clean. And these seats really aren't that bad. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to get the leather for a couple of reasons, mostly because of the weather changes around here. I mean, in the wintertime, like right now, those seats are going to be freezing, and I don't have a heated option with my GT, and I don't know if these actually have heating elements or not in them, but they're not going to be heated regardless. So in the winter, it's going to be cold, but when you're in there for a while, it's going to get warm. So that doesn't really, isn't all that big a deal to me. The summertime, it's going to be hot. That's the only thing that I'm not looking forward to. And my Aztek at this time does not have air conditioning, so it might be a pretty painful adjustment when it comes to the climate inside the vehicle. And I really do like my cloth seats. In fact, my cloth really isn't in too bad of shape in most areas. The driver's seat is worn. There's a hole there and it's flat there, but that's common. I mean, you're not going to find these seats in 100% pristine condition, I wouldn't think. But I do like this fabric. I love this fabric, actually. It's very unique. I can't complain about it. Like, I really do like how these seats are designed, and they're comfortable and such. But then I found these, and they're just so hard to find. And these are like, they're not in bad a shape. I mean, they're worn, but they're not worn. I mean, they're good. So I don't know. I made the call to spend the $158 for them, I think is what it was. And that's not a bad deal for 4 leather seats, I wouldn't think. So yeah, and they really weren't that difficult to remove. So we're going to do that today. My Aztek has been sitting here for over an hour with the battery disconnected, because my Aztek we do have side airbags in the seats. And we definitely want to make sure that when we go to unplug those harness under the seat, we don't have a surprise. Same thing when we plug these in, because these also have side airbags in them. And I'm hoping that, you know, there's nothing wrong with anything on these seats that might cause the airbag light to come on. I'm really hoping the airbag light doesn't come on. But if it does, I guess, you know, I'll have to take a scan tool, bring it home, and, you know, check out the codes or whatnot. Or I don't know, it might be possible for me to even swap parts out of maybe these seats and put it in there, like if I have to actually swap this airbag module out. What else? The front passenger seat here is powered on this variant of the seat, whereas my Aztek does not have a powered seat. It has a manually adjusting seat. So I don't know if the wiring harness under the seat are plug and play. I haven't looked yet, but there is a chance that, you know, once the new seat is in here, you're not going to be able to move it, and I don't care. That's fine. If need be, I can just power probe it to adjust it to where it needs to go and call it a day. But yeah, there's no power adjustment at this time. Like I said, once we remove all this, maybe there's a harness there for it, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll have to put a fuse in for it or something. But if it doesn't have to, you know, move, then oh well. So let me show you guys these seats real quick before we get down to business. The driver's seat, you know, as you can see, you know, it's flat just like the other one is in mine. That's like the worst of it. You can tell, you know, it's kind of discolored there, kind of, you know, peeling just a little bit here. The knob was on it, but I think when I pulled it out of the other carcass, it broke off. So I will just take mine off of my seat and put it there. Not a big deal. Airbag is intact, as you can see. You know, they look really sharp, you know, for the age. They're not in too bad of shape whatsoever. Armrest, of course, is faded and slightly cracked. Still cushy. So that's that, you know, that's really nice. The back seats really don't even look like they were worn in all that much. You know, there's very little lines. They do need cleaned. One of these has like sticky stuff on it. When I brought them up from the basement just now, you know, it got all over my hand. So, but yeah, you can see these are, you know, these are near mint condition in my opinion. And then the front passenger seat, also the same. You know, it too, it looks like it too has very little wearing on it. The airbag cover looks like it did come away from the, you know, the actual hub, and the airbag's still intact, so, you know, it wasn't deployed. If it was deployed, I'm sure half that seat would be gone. So that's really the only cosmetic issue. I've seen a lot of these over time, you know, where they do that. I'm actually really surprised that my seats haven't started peeling like this, but that's okay. It's not really going to get in the way of anything, I wouldn't think. Again, the backside looks really nice, and yeah, they're really sharp. So that's really the only reason why I bought them. I wasn't planning on doing any kind of cosmetic upgrades to the Aztek when it came to the actual upholstery, but the opportunity was there and I took it, just because these are hard to find. And I think in a way it's going to open up the acoustics a little bit in here too, because leather, you know, kind of opens the sound up a little bit, which is really good for music in my opinion. I am going to keep these seats, by the way. They will be brought downstairs, and I don't know, when I get rid of this Aztek, these seats will be put back in, because I'm not letting these out of my sight. I might build furniture out of these again, like I did with my Montana minivan seats that I came across. So that's a possibility that we could do that. It is the same type of seat setup in the back. They are the same exact minivan seats. So even if I put these seats back in here when the time comes to get rid of this bad boy, then I can always use these as the furniture seats because they're set up the exact same way. So it kind of works out on both levels. Now while the seats are out, you know, especially the front seats, as you can see, there's some stuff in here. We're gonna clean it out a little bit. I wanted to try to vacuum under the seats at, you know, places that I can't get to, and I might try to scrub out a little bit of the water damage over there from the sunroof being leaky, you know, all the time for some strange reason. I should do that today, actually. I was thinking about actually caulking up that sunroof, and sealing it, you know, and then maybe at some point in time have a professional company fix it for me, because I don't know why. I tried adjusting the glass, I cleaned the drain tubes, and I'm still getting water dripping from the headliner and all that stuff on really, really wet days. So I might just seal it up. I might do that today also with silicone. I forget what they said. I'll have to look it up. I think it's silicone. All right. Well, let's begin with the driver's seat. Let's go ahead. I'll show you what we're going to do to remove all these seats. Now the back seats of the Aztek, of course, are easy because they come out on, you know, an as-needed basis. So you basically flip this lever here. That'll go up. You pull on the bottom lever, it flips up, and then from there you pull, you know, the strap. Wow, all that stuff fell out of the seat since they've been in here. You pull on this thing here. Oh, see, it's out. So that's ready to be lifted out and such. So you can see the back seats, you know, they're actually really easy to handle when it comes to removing the seats. But to do the front seats, this is what you need. It's really not that bad. I have no idea what's under here. Yeah, you can see how awful this looks. It might still be wet. Yeah, it is wet. So we're gonna vacuum this up. I might try to use something to clean it a little bit, and we'll go from there. Look at that. I am so unhappy. Anyway, so this is a 18mm socket, and there's basically, it's just a bunch of you know, hex head bolts. There's one here, you can see it. There's one on the other side, and then likewise on the back side of the seat. These are a little bit deeper to get to, but the one's right there, and the other one is right there, and that's it. Now one of these bolts, they're kind of in a tight spot, so you're going to need a ratchet or a wrench. Maybe, you know, if you can get a ratcheting wrench. I do have one, I think, but I just grabbed this one. But 18, so you're going to need to use like that end. I think I have a ratcheting 18 wrench. I'll have to look in my bag. And then that brings the seat up. Now, as far as the connectors go, obviously the yellow connector, that is our oh so suspenseful airbag harness there. And then to the other side right there, that's going to be for our power seat adjustments. Which, the power seats work on this one. Well, the battery's disconnected now. But the issue is, I think the track rusted anyway, so I couldn't really move the seat back and forth, but it does go up and down. And this, of course, was broken off. The other seat, I do believe it is still intact. But I put it there like that. It seems to stay on. It is what it is. And of course, like I said, once the seat's out, we're going to try and clean up a little bit of what's underneath there. Now, there are some cases that I've heard where these could be on there extremely tight, as they should be, but hopefully not to the point where any of these, oh, that wasn't bad, where any of these are gonna like strip off or whatnot. At some point it should get loose enough, yeah, it's getting there, where you should be able to just break it off with your fingers, or not. It does get kind of tight up against the frame after a while. Yeah, there it goes. That's it. So one's down. And now We'll move to the other one. Garbage. All right. Okay, not too bad either. Okay, there's number 2. Now let's go to the back. It is easier if you remove the back seats before you try to get to the back of the front seats, because you will kind of need room to crawl under here. Here's one. These really weren't all that tight as I was expecting for them to be. There we go. We got one more. Like I said, the ratchet doesn't really fit there, so you're going to need a wrench, and I do have a ratcheting 18. I thought I did. So if you have a ratcheting wrench, this is definitely going to make this a little bit easier for you. This one's tight. I can see rust, so there we go. Okay, last one. So at this point, this seat is completely loose, you can see. Now, the dreaded airbag disconnect. So, like I said, hopefully, I know some cars have a backup power supply for the airbag systems. It usually takes a few minutes for them to deactivate. So this has been well over an hour with the battery disconnected. I hope everything at this point has been completely drained from the vehicle. Because like I said, if not, we're in for a pretty rude surprise. Here's our power seat adjustments. Squeeze the tab there, pull it off like so. And now, oh geez, there's a clip on there that it holds on to. Somehow. Slides out somewhere here like that. Okay. Forget exactly how this one comes apart. Oh, this one's got a lock on it. Okay. So there's actually a tab on there that we have to remove first. The other seat didn't have that. I could probably lean this back now. Yeah, that's a little bit easier. I heard money. Oh, look at the rust. It's not as bad as I was expecting for it to be, but yeah. So there's a little plastic tab on there that we have to take apart. Okay, a little bit of work. You had to just, I don't know, try to wedge this through, and then from there, let's see, where's the tab? You lift up on it. Success. So you lift up on this part, and then you just lift up on that part, and you just pull it out. That's it. Okay, so I got the right rear passenger seat out again. It's amazing how much stuff actually collected in here over the time of what? I've only been driving this thing since September. So that's pretty interesting. We're gonna go with the backside first. Same exact setup. I really hope this seat's lighter because it's not powered. Okay, 1, The other side, the side on the outboard, we need our ratcheting wrench. Actually, this is not a powered seat, so guess what? You can use the ratchet. Sweet! Okay, so now we're up front. We'll do this one first. Ugh. The front ones seem to be the tighter out of the four. Okay, we got one, and lastly, hey, there is a connection up here to this seat. I wonder, whoa, the wind is very windy. I wonder if maybe, if it's plugged in, maybe, well, it might not have the actual wire going to it for the power adjustment. That might be for the, maybe the seatbelt buckle. No, because I thought the airbag thing over here did both. Guess we'll find out. Okay, here we go. Last bolt up front. Sirens are getting closer. There we go. Oh, they stopped. They didn't stop too far. Hey, it looks like somebody might have been under here before, because this cover is off of this thing. Yeah, it should be like that. Our seat is loose. Oh, there she goes. I'll have to look at the wiring and see if it's the same. Yeah, this is definitely our airbag connector. Oh look, wait, there's nothing behind it. So yeah, maybe the power seat will work. This is just a dud, I think, to keep the wiring from. I had a feeling that these harness, I had a feeling that the power adjustment would be there, because I wouldn't have thought that they would have made a million different harness, you know. So yeah, this is just a blank connector under here. There's nothing on the back side of it. So that just plugs into that to keep it from, I guess, hanging down and stuff. Alright, so let's get this thing off of here. We've got to defuse the bomb again. Okay, and then from there, like I said, you lift up on this side here, and we did it. Okay, now we gotta get it out. And this is what I've got to deal with now. The carpet really wasn't all that bad a shape to begin with when I got this car. I mean, the front two sides have been the worst, but I mean, you know, under the seat, other than like the rust marks, and in the back, and the very way back even, I mean, this carpet really wasn't all that bad. So now I get to get the garbage can and throw everything out. After that, we're going to, you know, get our rigid wet dry vac right there, and we're going to vacuum everything up. And then, like I said, I might try to work on that front side a little bit more. Try to clean those spots and stuff up. Try to suck out the water and everything with some like degreaser or something I got in the basement. It's not going to be perfect, and I don't expect for it to be perfect. It's going to be a, you know, a 20-year-old car here with you know, not too long. So it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. But I do want it to be a little more presentable than what it is now. So let's get cracking. Alright, so it's been a little bit of time later. I vacuumed all the loose stuff off of the carpets, and grabbed some of the purple power that I had in the basement, diluted it a little bit, and I soaked this here for a few minutes. So you know, you can see some of the spots. We'll see how well it comes up. Like I said, it doesn't gotta be perfect. We'll see what happens. Okay, so here's where we're at, and it may not have made a huge difference. Obviously, it's still wet. Some of this got a little bit lighter, but I don't think they're going to come out, and I'm not going to really spend the rest of the afternoon on it. So it is what it is. I mean, it might be a little bit better when it dries. The other side, I did kind of shoot down the passenger side floor a little bit. There wasn't a whole lot to deal with there. Used up almost all of my Purple Power concoction. So it's alright. I'm sure maybe when it dries it'll look a little bit better, but like I said, it's what I really need is the ability to remove the entire carpeting and maybe power wash it, pressure wash it or something. That might be the nice way to go. But with what I got, plus I don't think my vacuum is all that strong. It's not a huge wet dry vac, so the suction maybe isn't the best, but when I bought it I never meant for it to actually be used for carpet cleaning, so that could be something also. But that's it. I'm gonna put these seats in now. Now once the new seats are in, I was going to clean them once they were in the car. I was thinking about doing it when they were in the basement, but then I thought, well, if I got to carry them up the steps and they might be slippery or something, it might make it a little bit more difficult, smudge them up. So we'll get them situated in the car first, and then we'll clean them up a little bit. The front seats need a good vacuuming. The back seats mostly need wiped down from whatever sticky stuff was sitting on them. So we'll start with the passenger seat. Since I'm already over here, we'll get that one booted in, and then once the passenger seat's in, I'll throw the rear passenger seat in since it just snaps into place, and then we'll make our way around to the driver side. Obviously airbag and our seat. I'm gonna need two hands for this because I really don't want to pull these wires too much. So we'll get those hooked up. Okay, so our connectors are hooked up. Make sure with your airbag, it had that little metal tab on it that connects it to that spot under the seat. Make sure you put that back because that really doesn't want to be jumbling around everywhere, And also when you put the bracket down, make sure the wiring is not going to be pinched between the frame of the seat and the yeah, that's fine, and the floor. So now all we gotta do is bolt it down and I guess go from there. Okay, front seat is fully secured, plugged in place. Like I said, all I gotta do is kind of vacuum it off and wipe it down. I got the rear right passenger seat done. Let's go finish it up. Alright guys, here we have it. So all four seats are in place. Totally gives the inside of my Aztek a different look. Might actually make it look cleaner actually. So that's it, they're in. Now all I really gotta do, I'm gonna take a break because I'm getting kind of hungry. So once I eat and such, I'm gonna come back out here. We'll vacuum all the little crumbs and stuff off all these, and then we'll give them a cleaning. I didn't buy anything really extravagant. I just went with like Armor All leather cleaner and conditioner. So we'll just wipe that around, try to get some of these weird markings off of them, and call it a day. And we're back. Took me a little bit longer. It's starting to get kind of dark now. Took me a little bit longer to come back out here. I started getting a migraine about halfway through this whole process, so I had to take a break, eat, take some medicine, wait for that to kick in, and here I am out here trying to finish it up. So we went ahead and vacuumed, got the loose particles off of all of the seats, and now we're going to go ahead and start the actual cleaning of them. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I'm just going to use this Armor All Leather Care, not a sponsor. But I could have went with like the Meguiar's or, you know, something a lot more expensive and well known, but this Armor All should be fine for what I want to do with it. I just want to clean them up a little bit, and I don't know, depending on how well it lasts, you know, we'll go from there. So I'm just going to take one of my microfiber towels. I am gonna spray the seat. I'm also gonna spray some of the towel also, or the rag, and then I want to try to get as even. You know, I don't want any weird spots or anything, but we're gonna try to clean the whole seat up, including what I can get at the sides, probably from the back. We'll do the back. We'll do the headrest. This shouldn't take too long. I mean, it's leather. It's like wiping down anything else. This stuff here does say that it cleans, conditions, and protects. So I guess we'll see how good it is. So let's get to it. See, something like that. That's probably good enough there. Maybe let it sit for a second or so. I'll need my other hand, obviously. So I'll do the bottom part first. Then I'll move my way to the top. We'll try to do some of the sides. I probably really won't be able to get that side. That would have been something nice to do with the seat out, but I wasn't sure if this stuff was going to be slippery afterwards or whatnot. So let me get to this and I'll touch base with you. Okay, so she's all cleaned up now. Not a whole lot of difference. I mean, you can tell there's a little more shine to it now compared to the one over there. I like it. Not bad. I don't know how long this stuff's gonna last, but it is what it is. See, there's something sticky there. That's probably what I touched. So we'll spray all this down too, and I'll show you guys the final results once I get everything cleaned off. This is it. They're done. I kind of like the Armor All doesn't have like an overbearing shine to it. It makes them look shiny, but it's not like when I go to sit in there, I don't feel like I'm gonna be getting my clothes all greasy or something. It looks like it dries and it keeps, you know, the shine on it. But it got cold out here. It was warmer earlier. Ooh. So yeah, she's done. She got her leather seats. She looks like a real GT now. Kind of surprised that, you know, this particular Aztek had so many options, except the leather. So we took care of that. So now it's time to get our battery hooked up, and hopefully when we hook it up, you know, and get everything running, like I said, hopefully we don't have an issue with the airbags. We'll also see if the seats work. Hopefully they do. I'll be really surprised. I didn't even really think, though, even though we had a harness that connected into this seat, who knows if the other end of wherever that goes is plugged into, you know, wherever it needs to get its power supply from. So, I mean, hopefully if it feeds off of the same harness somewhere and feeds off of some existent fuse or something, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But it's good to know that the harness is there. I might just have to figure out where it goes. So we're gonna hook this up. Hopefully we don't hear a big bang once the negative terminal hits the battery post. Let's do it. Okay, she's on there, she's snug. We've got contact. I haven't looked at this in a little while. Looks good. Yeah, we're down a little bit of oil again. We are getting real close to doing an oil change on this. So, all right. Oh, I gotta pull the switch cover off of that one. Does it work? Yeah. Back up and down. Slowly but surely. We need to get some power going. Who knows how long it's been since these have actually moved. But it is moving. Okay, neat. So that seat does work. Now we get to see if this one works. And I really won't be too bummed out if it doesn't, but you never know. It does! Oh, look at that! So that harness is hooked up already. Beautiful! Amazing. That is awesome. So I also have a front powered seat now compared to before. Yeah! That's awesome. What a pretty sky. It was a nice day. Real nice day. All right. So we're good. We're good. I have to put the mats back in. I didn't do anything with the mats today. I'm not going to. I should probably leave them off because that carpet's wet. I was gonna take this out tonight because I didn't drive it all day. So yeah, looks like a real GT. And the seat works. I can't believe the seat works. That's awesome. I might have to maybe add a little lubrication to the track, maybe on this side, but it works. So it's also not running either. I'm sure once it's turned on and we have the alternator giving power to all the systems, everything's gonna work better. Let me go get my keys. We'll start it up and just make sure that the airbag light and stuff isn't on. All right, here we go. Yes. I knew it. I knew for some reason that was going to be an issue. So I'm gonna have an airbag light. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe because it knows the parts are different or the parts are wrong or bad or something. Yeah, she flashes. Yeah, darn it. Oh, that sucks. So like I said, I don't know if there's a way that maybe I can actually take parts from these seats, depending on what the issue is, and maybe swapping them over to see if it'll correct that light. Because obviously the parts in my seats must be good if if I never had an airbag light before. But I don't know. I kind of figured that was going to be a strong possibility of that happening. Oops. And I'm not gonna fret too much about it right now. But I will look into it. Is there any other messages for the airbag? Doesn't appear so. No, so just the light. There's no other warning message coming up in the message center. I don't know. They look good though. I like them. As long as these don't go off when I'm driving or something. Hopefully that won't be the case. Oh man. Oh well. Okay, so I gotta start cleaning everything up. I'm gonna let this run for a little bit and charge up because it's been sitting unplugged all day. And yeah, we'll go from there. Alright guys, so there you have it. We did a whole entire seat swap in the Aztek. It makes the car look entirely different than what it was with the regular cloth seats. So I like them. This actually feels pretty comfy. I got the seat adjusted to where pretty close to where the other one was. The lumbar, I noticed on the driver's seat, doesn't work. The knob spins, but I'm not really noticing any difference in how my back feels. But that's okay. It actually, it doesn't feel bad. I like it. And if there's going to be any other issues with this, obviously we can get rid of these and put the old seats back in. I will try to bring a scan tool home from school one of these days this week, and I will see what exactly is going on with the airbag light now. I had a feeling that was going to happen if I changed the seats out, so I don't know if there's a possibility that maybe the airbag module needs to learn these components here, or if something in these seats are bad. And then I'm going to see if there's a way I can swap parts out of the old seats to correct the issue. If it's going to be that big of a deal, I'm not even going to worry about it. I've never had a car with an airbag light before, though. This is going to be the first time that I'm going to deal with an airbag issue. I do believe the airbag system's going to work elsewhere, from my understanding. I don't think, if somebody hits me head on, I think the dash bags are going to work. But I have a feeling, if I were to get hit from the side, then maybe one of the side bags aren't going to work. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. Or it could simply be the seatbelt buckle. Maybe one of the seatbelt buckles is got an issue that could also trigger the airbag light. But we'll see. I will look into that as soon as I get the opportunity. My service engine light's going to be off for a few days until because I unhooked the battery. It will make a comeback, I know that for sure. And that's it. So I'm going to end the video here, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Also check out teespring.com/stores/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. And that is all that I've got for you guys tonight. So I want to thank you again for joining. I will see you guys next time. And as always, take care.